Hey, what's up, comic book friends? JP, all about comics. Welcome back. Today will be my Dallas Fan Expo 2018 recap video. Um, Third time's a charm, I guess. Something always comes up. So sorry it's been so late. Just kind of hard to find the time and stuff to film here um, right now. So we have a house full. But anyways, just want to take the opportunity and get some shout outs and some information out there, and just talking a little bit about Dallas Fan Expo and show off some books and stuff I got. Um, Unfortunately, Heather was not with me in this event. She will show off her stuff later on. She had a lot more stuff than I did. So, it wasn't a huge draw for us to go out there as far as comic creators go. We wanted to meet Amy Jo Johnson, which this was Heather's first convention, my second since I went to Seattle with Spidey Fan earlier this year, and kind of got my feet wet doing that. So this one wasn't near as busy, or I mean, it was a lot of people, but it was just one floor, whereas like Seattle was like four. So you know, everything's very congested, so it felt like it was bigger, but it really wasn't. This is some of the people, celebrities that were there. Um, so after seeing all the lines of people for the celebrities, uh, Heather decided she did not need to meet Amy Jo Johnson that bad. So some of the people canceled, of course, but so we spent most of our day in Artist Alley with our friend Sora Sung. We got to meet Don Teague, which I guess I pronounced it wrong, but that's what I'm going with for now. She said she doesn't correct people. It's like Mateague or Matogue, I can't remember, but Mateague to me. Super nice lady, so I just called her Miss Dawn. Also, in that little stretch there was Mike Chrome. I wish I would have been more prepared, but since the moving and everything, and it just we weren't even sure we were going to get to go, so ultimately we did. These are some of the comic creators that were there: Joe Quesada, Rob Liefeld, Capullo, and Snyder. I wish I would have had David Finch, and Donnie Cates isn't pictured, but he was there. So all in all, I wish I'd have been more prepared for stuff, but at the end of the day, it was a one-day deal. And to be honest, the most exciting thing for me through this event was the opportunity to meet fellow YouTubers, and I'll talk about that a little bit later at the end of the video. But that was my huge draw for me. So, and it did not disappoint. But as far as the convention goes, I didn't buy a whole lot for myself. I mean, as Heather will say, you spent a lot of money. I just don't have a lot to show for it yet. Commissions. I love commissions, right? So I had to buy a few different blank sketch covers because Sora's doing a commission for me again. But she's very particular with the way she needs stuff to be. So I'm like, okay. So, yeah. We'll talk about some stuff. I have one book at CGC I sent, Signature Series with David Finch. He was the main draw, and I know you've seen probably Kingdom Comics video, and he talks a little bit about the way they do things. I'm not sure how I feel either about the comic sketch art people. So anyways, David Finch, you can only have 2 books. The third book, anything after that was $5 per book to get signature. So I had 3 books myself, and then I had 2 books with Meredith Finch and David on the covers, or on her writing. Wonder Woman 45 and Rose #1 variant cover that I did for her. Excuse me. So, anyways, I gave those to my wife to get signed, which, never fails when you do something like that. And then, like, Meredith wanted to talk to her about Rose, and she kind of deflected it to me, so I'm like, I like the story. It's something that's right up my alley. Then we had a conversation about Loopy Dave and his variant covers, which are exceptional in my opinion. The dude's artwork is amazing. So, if you don't know who Loopy Dave is, check him out. So for me, I got Finch to sign Grim Fairy Tales Legacy #1 variant, Signs it down here. Gold Finch 2018. It was kind of cool. I learned from Art Adams in Seattle, that they date when they sign it, which I guess makes sense. For I don't know, they do what they do, right? So, anyways, got that one signed, and then this is one of my favorite Finch covers just to look at. And that's Batman: The Dark Knight #3, first appearance of this version of the White Rabbit, signed here in black. Sorry about the glare. And then I also got another book signed by him. Like I said, I went to CGC. It's probably not going to get a high grade. I'm hoping for a 9. A 9.0 will be okay. But it's the Blackest Night 14 with the white Batman. Amazing looking cover, and I've been looking for it forever. The guy at the show had 2 copies. I took the better of the 2. He gave me a nice discount on it, and that same guy we actually bought a bunch of stuff from, so it's understandable. I only got the 2 books, 3 books from him. My wife got a whole stack of stuff, so she can show that later. But in the dollar bin, I picked up Witchblade #6, which is a Turner cover. Very nice book. Very nice condition too. For $1, it's really amazing. Gen 13 Ordinary Heroes Adam Hughes cover. I have this, if not multiples of this, but for $1, I can't say no. And then for me, the one book I've been looking for a long time, other than the Batman one, was Birthright #1. I feel like I had this at one time, but I don't know. But anyways, I need to pick up the graphic novel because it's something I want to read. I believe there's a series or a movie or something that's been optioned. It doesn't matter. Cool stuff. So then, other than David Finch, I wanted to meet, I thought I wanted to meet Andy Kubert. So as I'm waiting in line for Andy Kubert, it occurs to me as I'm looking at my book I have in my hand, I'm like, oh crap, that's Adam Kubert art. So got out of that line really quick before I embarrass myself like I did in Seattle with Babs Tarr. But you just laugh it off and go. Stuff happens. So I wanted to meet Donny Cates because I missed him in Seattle. Twofold, I missed him because he wasn't in his booth very often, and I wasn't checking back regular. Mainly because of stuff I've heard about him from other people. It wasn't so positive, so I wasn't in any hurry to meet him. But he didn't have anyone in his line. He was just chilling. He's a Texas guy, so it's kind of a local show for him. Now I want to meet him mainly because of one thing. If you look at the first pages of Redneck, you see East Texas, Sulphur Springs, Christmas Eve. I was born and raised in Sulphur Springs, Texas. It's such a random thing to see in a comic book. So I just wanted to have a conversation with him about it. And, I engaged him. I told him I was from there. We laughed. He told me that the editors didn't even know it was a real place. And, it's kind of one of those things, if you're not from there, no one really knows about it. Like when I grew up, there was maybe 15, 20,000 people in that area. And now there's maybe 25, so it isn't a huge growth. But, anyways, so he signed the graphic novel, then he adds a little gold tooth. I'm sure he does this for everyone. So, super nice guy to me. Like I said, other people's experiences, you have to kind of draw your own conclusion, as I learned with Greg Horn from Seattle. Super nice guy, turns out. Same with Donny Cates. He was really nice to me, and maybe I just got the luck of the draw. Maybe it's because I'm from that area and we had a conversation. I don't know. But I am looking forward to his Venom runs. I've heard different things about. First of all, he's super pumped to write Venom. That's one thing I will tell you straight up. He is jacked to do that. From what I understand, when he went to the writers' retreat, he had an idea for 100 issues and a 10-year plan. So people liked it. So we'll see what happens. So I think that's out in June or July. I can't remember. But anyways, let's see. I am going to this thing called Frightmare. It's like a horror convention coming up here in Dallas. So that's on the May 4th, 5th, and 6th, I believe. We're just going on the 5th. My sister is a huge horror movie person. I like some stuff. I'm not huge into it, but I do like horror movies. But I'm going there. Two reasons for me. Ron Perlman's going to be there, so I'm trying to get some Hellboy stuff signed. He's not cheap, but that's okay. And then second one, Dan Mendoza is going to be there, and I've already reached out to him about a commission, so we'll see how that goes. Such a random thing for me. I mean, I know his background is horror and with Zombie Tramp and everything, so I'm pretty excited for that as well. Matthew Lillard's going to be there. If you guys remember Scream or Scooby Doo. So there's my problem with conventions when I was younger. I always wanted to support the indie people. Like I would spend most of my money buying crap books that were just indie publishers that never turned out to anything. I met the inker for this book I'm going to show you. It's from the local, I think it's called Pocket Jacks Publishing. So it's called White Lily. This is number 1. It was a Kickstarter. This is not the Kickstarter variant, but pretty cool book. It's about World War II pilots from Russia, the female aces. They're the only ones that have female aces. So met the writer as well as inker, and then the pencilist, the guy who does the pencils, he passed away, unfortunately. Lavelle Davis, a couple weeks, I believe, before the convention, he passed away, or back in February, maybe. Very recent, so they were still... So issue 3's been delayed, I guess. Understandable. So that's unfortunate. So, going back to the horror convention, Clive Barker's going to be there. And this will be like my 25th year anniversary of the first time I met Clive Barker. So that'd be kind of cool too, just to revisit that. I went there, my recently deceased stepmom was a huge fan of Stephen King and Clive Barker. So I got a book signed for her back in the day. Alright, so yeah, I'll try and do a video about that experience as well. So as I said earlier, Dawn Mateague was there as well, and she has some books for sale, and her artwork is amazing. If you guys haven't seen a lot of the Zenescope stuff, but she did this, I don't know if this is a Kickstarter or what it is for Coffin Comics, a Lady Death cover, but it's absolutely stunning, and I could not buy this, you know, like, it's so good. I don't collect Lady Death, but my gosh, she's good. And she signed it there, too. So, beautiful book. Super nice lady. I follow her on Facebook and watch a lot of her live videos and stuff, and I recommend that you do the same if you're into that sort of thing. So, Sour Song's doing another commission for me, like I said. Mike DeBalfo was there, even though he wasn't on the list, and I talked to him a little bit. You know, super nice guy. Ryan Kincaid, again, super nice guy. Greg Land, which, again, if I'd been more prepared, I would have got a lot more stuff signed or purchased or whatever. But next time, always next time. So the last book I'm going to show from the Fan Expo, and I wish my wife was here to do this with me because we do ridiculous things sometimes just because we can. So, while we were leaving Omaha, we decided to stop at our favorite LCS one last time before we go. And I don't know why, I've never noticed, but back in the corner, like kind of where they have like their bags and boards, they have another across the hall. And it's all like 25-cent issues or like free comic book day stuff. So we picked up a bunch of the free comic book from the last few years. For the kids and stuff, you know, they had some Harley Quinn issues and what have you. But then they have a 25-cent bin, and we were just digging through, and my wife found this book, and she showed it to me, and immediately I said, yes. And only because I knew Rob Liefeld was going to be in Dallas, and I don't know, like, I know, you know, Hazel Dan and those guys, they have their own Rob Liefeld experience, which mine was positive, don't get me wrong, I'm not bashing the guy. I do think his business practices are a little wonky, with everything being so, like, $40 for a signature, $40 for a picture. There's no package deal. It's $80 if you want a signature and a picture. And I'm like, that's just crazy. And then, you know, as I'm waiting in line, I decided I'm going to get Rob Liefeld to sign this book. I'll show you in a minute. So, the first time I got out of the line because I was like, no, I'm not going to waste $40. I mean, it was literally, it was a $40. Just basically, here's $40 just for a laugh. Like, this is truly just for myself to laugh at. And I got out of line the first signing because I'm like, no, that's just stupid. I can put that $40 for something else. Then later in the day, I was bored, and he was doing the second signing, and I'm like, screw it, I'm doing it. I'm gonna go get in line. So I got in line. It was like a half-hour wait, and I'm talking to these people ahead of me and behind me, and no one knew the fees. Like if you don't know how Rob Liefeld does things, and you get a chance to go, be prepared. Do your homework. Like, even I know this just from following him on social media. Anything that's like Deadpool, like New Mutants '98, that's like $80. It used to be $60. He raised it to $80 for this convention to sign. Like, I don't understand. Well, whatever. New Mutants '87, same thing. Used to be $60, now it's $80 because their first appearances, I guess. But I don't understand that at all. It doesn't make sense to me. But whatever. He can do what he wants, and people pay it. That's their prerogative. And then everything else has like its own fees and this, that, and the other thing. So I go up there, pay my $40, wait my turn, and he was like fairly engaging. Said hello, and I lay this book down in front of him. This book is from like 1995. It's called Vogue #1, and try and get it without a glare so you can see it's all of its glory. You see the Rob's signature there. So I lay this book down with pure anticipation that he's going to look at me and be like, really, you just spent $40 to have me sign this piece of crap book. But I kid you not, I lay the book down just like this. He looks at the cover, he signs it, he looks at me and he goes, that's a great cover. And I'm like, yeah? You know, like, he being serious? And of course he was being serious because there's no one that's a bigger fan of Rob Liefeld's work than Rob Liefeld. So I was just like, oh, that was it. That was the only reaction I got. Like, I thought for sure, you know, he's just admiring his work. Like, that's a great cover. And I'm like, all right, Mr. Liefeld, you have a great day. And I walked away, and I was like, damn it, that was such a waste of $40. It didn't get the reaction I was hoping. And, I mean, come on, that's a ridiculous cover. Like, there's no reason anyone should ever get that signed for $40. But whatever. It's a good story. We had fun. And I go back, and, you know, it's really funny because, like, in Artist Alley, we're all snickering. You know, I told him that originally I was going to ask him if he could do a remark of Vogue's feet, but I thought that would just piss him off because apparently that's a sensitive subject. But anyways, that was the last thing I did at the Fan Expo before we called it quits for the day. So after all the events and everything and signings, well, when I first got there, I had met Trilogy's Comic Corner, if you guys know who that is. He's a YouTuber, also a Facebooker. Great dude. First person I met from the community. And then I texted Hazel Dan, see what they were doing. And they came and found us. So we shot the shit for a while with those guys, and we had a blast. They're a super nice couple. Had so much fun. They actually ended up spending probably the most of our time with those guys. And then I saw Aim High Comics walking the floor. He invited me to the dinner that night that Trilogy had put together, or invited us, I guess I should say. So anyways, so we went to dinner that night, and I'm sure you've heard from other YouTubers. Try to remember everyone who was there. I'm terrible with names most of the time. So there was like 17 people, 17 YouTubers there. I'm not sure. So yeah, Trilogy. You had Aim High. I got to meet Strictly Comics. That's Edwin. Him and his wife were there. Well, Trilogy's wife, her name is Heather as well. She was there. Hazel Dan, those guys. And then you had the Blast It or Stash It guys. So I got, we basically had dinner on our end of the table with those guys. So Spidey Grandpa sat next to me, as well as Huey and Drew sat next to my wife. So we conversed all night. Mr. White Gloves was close to us there, and then they had another friend. I'm not sure if he had a channel or not. He's more into gaming, he said, so we talked a little bit about video games. Super nice people. Trying to think around the table, who am I missing? Oh, obviously the legend, the great legend. He was there. Didn't get as much talking to him as I would have liked, but now that I know we're basically a town apart where we live, so I'll be talking with him more, hopefully. So, well, speaking of great legend, if you guys don't know, he does have a live auction show this Saturday, the 21st, and I will be making my first appearance on the Great Legend show, so I'm excited for that. I have some books to auction off, so if you guys are looking for some stuff, maybe some of the stuff from this video will be up there. Not really sure. This is the first time I've done a live auction like that for YouTube, and we'll see how it goes. I do have just trying to make some space for some other stuff, so you guys come over and take advantage of my deals. So anyway, so the Great Legend and his wife. Trying to think anyone else I'm missing. I know Aim High's brother was there, but I didn't actually get introduced to him. So I did post a picture on Instagram of our dinner, which is kind of dark and grainy, but it was a dimly lit establishment. So what else? Tito, of course, Kingdom Comics. Oh my gosh, yeah, he was late to the dinner, of course, but we ended up hanging out till like midnight after dinner with Hazel Dan and Tito, and it was amazing. Like, truly, that was the highlight of this experience for me, as we were trying to leave and go home since my sister had the kids and everything. But I didn't want to stop the conversations. Like, we're just laughing and having such a good time, and we did all this stupid fun, not rude, stupid fun photo shoot. I'm not a big photo shoot guy, but photo op, whatever you want to call it. So we had fun, just snapping some pictures and jokes, and everyone was great. It was truly an honor to meet a lot of these people. Everyone there was just super friendly, and it was really enjoyable. I'd love to do it again. So if you go to a convention, any of you guys have an opportunity to meet one another, please do. Like, I've been so blessed this year with Seattle. I got to hang out with Spidey Fan for like 4 days, and David from Seeking Your Comments. I got to hang out with him for a little bit on that. David, regardless, get to meet these guys. There's a couple guys, friends that were Spidey Fans friends that are on Instagram or whatever. Super nice guys. Hanging out in Artist Alley, getting to meet artists and stuff, and it was really funny because Sora, if you guys know, in Seattle, she totally hooked me up for the Artist Alley stuff, and then she offered it again to me in Dallas on Saturday if I wanted to come back on Sunday. I'm like, no, I'm good. But she's, so gracious. They're so nice. You get to know these creators, the ones that you can, I guess, and just learn that they're people just like you and I. There was one really funny thing, and probably shouldn't talk about it. I won't say his name, but let's just say he's pretty well known in the comic book industry as far as what he does. And I was walking by his booth because I was going to have a conversation with him, and there was some chick visiting with him, and they were doing shots together at the booth. And I was just like, all right, that's how it is. Apparently she snuck him in, and they hit him back, and I was just laughing like that's such a random thing to see. But anyways, all in all, the Dallas Fan Expo was a blast. It was a bigger blast for me, meeting all you guys that we did. Truly could not be more thankful for the opportunities I've had this year and the people I've gotten to meet, and it's just been a really good comic book collecting year for me. So, that being said, I was going to add some more books to talk about. I do have a small little haul video, but this thing is getting already 25 minutes, so I'll just do a separate video for this. So, thank you guys for hanging out and watching, and hopefully we'll do another live show for this channel. again, Saturday night, the 21st, 9 p.m. on the Great Legends Show. I'll be there selling some books, so come over and say hi, and look forward to seeing your comments and feedback and whatnot, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.